everybody. Welcome, Michelle Weaver. Pat, what's going on? I haven't seen Michelle in a while. What's up, Ashley? Got Chris here. Matthew, Madeline, of course, our host, Thomas and Sandy are here. What else do we have? Gina is here as well. Guys, if you're able to get on video, we definitely appreciate you being on video because it's nice just being able to see faces. What's up, Matthew? Hope you guys are all doing well. We're also live and recording in Facebook world. So good morning, Facebook world. For those that are on here on our private page, it's not on a public page, it's just on a private page. So for our celebrities on here, don't you worry, it is not public. It is on a private page. But good morning, everybody. Good morning. I got a couple people still coming in here. Before I introduce our main guests, Sandy and Thomas, I wanted to just say thank you so much. Hey, Joy. Thank you guys for being on here this morning. So this is a short and quick one. It's a quick 30-minute thing to be able to share with you some of this napkin math, some stabilization. Thomas is going to give us some ideas on how to increase rents, what that looks like. I'm going to be introducing the main players here shortly. I got a couple people coming in. Of course, we're on investor real estate time where we just trickle in here. But so good morning, everybody. My name is Brock Zevan. I'm a life coach, business coach, real estate agent, and a dad. I got two little ones. And we got into investment. I've been blessed and fortunate, met Sandy through my Mindset Motivation show that we do each and every morning that you're more than welcome, all of you on here. What I love for you all to do is hit the chat, go to the chat, tell us where you're from, what you got going on, how long you possibly been investing, what that looks like. So that way we can connect with you. We look at the chats and follow up with you. So please put your information in there. Tell us where you're from, what city you're at. Throw your email in there. Could have some people that are right in your hometown. I'm originally from upstate New York and now here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so Sandy and I started partnering together in this multifamily. And Sandy's a wealth of knowledge. She went with Grant Cardone. She paid the big bucks. I did not pay the big bucks. I paid the big bucks with my other coach on for what I do on the life coach in the business world. But she paid the big bucks. She paid over $20,000, invested over, I don't even know, $35,000 in her coaching. And so to be able to take that knowledge, and we said, let's put it together in a webinar. Let's host an event. Some of you have been on our previous event that we did. And then we're doing a live one on April 25th. Stay tuned. You will get that information. Thomas will be with us like it's in person. We will be helping with LOIs, and that's what we will end with. But let's get the stage. We got a lot of Florida people, Charleston, Alabama. Love it, guys. All over the country, you guys have opportunities because this works in any part of the country. We are going to be growing our vision. Lexington, Kentucky. So we are going to be able to take this. You're going to be able to take what we're doing here in this napkin math. I actually figured it out, guys, and it's not very challenging at all. It's just puzzle piecing and putting this formula. Thomas has really got the challenging part because he's got to be creative on here, but I'm not going to steal a thunder on him. So without further ado, let's let the main person, Sandy here, who cultivated this and started this, pioneered this in my world and has transformed my world of understanding. I was like, we were negotiating commissions at 9.7 million yesterday on the car ride when we had we had lunch yesterday, and I was just like, oh, 9.7. Okay. All right. It's a little bit different than my residential real estate that I do. So Sandy, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing awesome. And thanks everybody for getting on here. I think it's important to let you all know too, when I learned this napkin math, I was working a full-time W-2 job in pharmaceutical sales. I'm a single mom. I have been for 7 years. I've got a 14-year-old daughter. I've got a full household, a dog, a life, chores, everything else that goes on in my world, just like y'all do. So I know that we all have a specific amount of time in our day. But this is something that it was June 2021. I was sitting in a seminar. I learned this equation. And it changed my life. It changed how I look at things when I was out and about and carpool. Even now I drive by apartments and I'm calculating what could the NOI be? How much is it worth? Because you start seeing everything as an opportunity. And when I learned that this all comes down to a fifth grade math equation, I was like, okay, like everyone needs to know this. So the only reason that you're not using it and doing it is because maybe you're scared you can't do it. And usually that fear comes from lack of knowledge. So that's when I teamed up with Brock and was like, everybody should at least know this. And especially brokers out there, whether you're acquiring multifamily properties or you're listing them, you're helping buy them, sell them, whatever it is you're doing, knowing how to bring value to a property and increase its valuation is a huge deal to have up your sleeve. So I just wanted to let you know that's kind of how I started. I learned to do this formula, like Brock said, from Grant Cardone. And should we just bust into, or should we let Thomas introduce himself, Brock? Or
Let's have you do the napkin math, and then we'll save the excitement for Thomas here when you get done.
Awesome. Okay, so the biggest thing is this. You see a building, let's just do 12 units. You see a 12-unit building and you're wanting to know how much is this worth, because a deal is no deal. And this is all about getting ready to present the letter of intent. But in your letter of intent, you've got to have an offer price. And this is how you get that offer price. This is your starting point. So you're going to just take the number of units. You've got 12 units. And if you know that the market rent is $800, and I want you to get your phones out and do this with me. So 12 times 800. So let's do this together. We've got $9,600. Okay. That's your gross operating income from your rents per month. So let's times that by 12 now. Okay. Now we've got 115,000. That is your gross operating income. So, and you'll see these acronyms, just don't worry about it, get caught up in it. This is what you're going to bring in from your rents. So now
just real quick, Sandy, not to interrupt you, but I'll try to puzzle piece. Some of you might be like, how do you figure out the rents, like the monthly rents? You can use Zillow for his estimate. You can go into your MLS and do a rent. There's a rent calculator in there, a rent, a price opinion you could do just like you do in a CMA. So if you're trying to figure out the rents to get an idea, as well as Sandy, I remember one of the questions somebody asked, like, well, there's a 4-bedroom and there's a 2-bedroom, there's a mixture. You're going to take the average. Okay. Just take the average for these numbers when you do the napkin math. For my analytical people, my S's and C's in the disc. Okay. Don't complicate this. Do not complicate this on what it is. Just keep it very plain and simple. Okay. She just said, like Sandy said, like, this isn't like a lot of us complicate our life. We don't need to. So I just want to throw those tidbits in there.
Absolutely. So you've got that 12-month gross operating income. You're going to take that and you're going to multiply it by 90%, because you need to take out a 10% vacancy. That's just normal. That's what banks are going to underwrite you for. So that's what you need to plan for. So you're at 90%. We've got 103,000 for expenses. The average is just take out 50%. That's going to include your 10% management fee, your insurance, your utilities, your common area maintenance, everything that goes into this. What it does not include is your mortgage payment, your debt service. Okay. So once you've done that, we have now net operating income. Okay. So what was it? 103,000.
Everybody's following along with their numbers. Everybody good? This is kind of like my teacher comes out of me. I taught school for 12 years. Now remember, another question that people ask while she's calculating that out. And she said 90% is the vacancy. Well, somebody, well, Brock, Sandy, there's only 50% of people in here. It's okay. It's fine. We have to look at it at 90% because that is our growth. That is our gap. That is our gap that we have. So you still do it at 90%. I don't care if there's 20% in there. Okay. You got a lot of work to do, but like you got to keep it at that 90% in order for this formula to work. So it's simple. Okay. Don't complicate it. So Sandy, go with I want to make sure people understood the vacancy on that. So we good so far? Everybody's got the numbers. What do we have, Sandy?
Okay. So we've got 800 times 12 units times 12 months times 90% is $103,680. So that's our gross operating income. And now we're going to minus out 50% for our expenses, management included. Okay. So that's $51,840. And that is your net operating income.
Give us a thumbs up if you got it. Who's got that number? Give us a thumbs up. We got it. We got it. Everybody's got it. Okay.
NOI, NOI, NOI is going to be such an important acronym. It centers at the core of everything you do in this business. You need to know what the NOI is on a building. How can you change the NOI? What is the NOI? So the NOI on this building is $51,840. Every market has a market cap rate. If you're not sure what the market cap rate is, you can just look up multifamily listings on LoopNet and see what the brokers have it listed in that area. Call a broker, text me, email me. Here in Charlotte, we're running at a 6% cap rate as far as leverages. Call a lender. They'll tell you what they're lending at as far as cap rates on multifamily. But let's just use 6% for today's class. That's a pretty common cap rate in multifamily. So you're going to take your net operating income and you're going to divide it by your cap rate. That gives you a value of $864,000. So there's your starting point. If this were a building that you've got a valuation. So let's do it on 36 units that are 900 a month. So let's get that one. So 36 units times 900. That's 32,000 a month income, right? Times 12. We're at 388,000 gross operating income. We're going to minus out our vacancy of 10%. So do times 0.9. We're at 349 gross operating income. And now we're going to minus out half for expenses. We're at 174,000 net operating income for the year. We're going to use that cap rate. So our NOI, 174,000 divided by our cap rate of 6%. We can make an offer of 2.9 million, 2.916 on this building. Okay.
So everybody get that? Everybody see how that, so we got the formula down.
So the equation never changes.
Every single time. She keeps it the same. It doesn't matter. 270 units, whether there's 12 units, 12 is the minimum that we stay with. Okay. So 12 is the number minimum. Your cap rate could change. Remember, the vacancy does not change. The 90% doesn't change. The 50% of the expenses don't change. And the cap rate could change depending on your area. That's about it. And then she gave you the total dollar amount. So give me a thumbs up. We all got that. Like, it doesn't matter. We understand. The thumbs up, we good. Melissa's good. Michelle, I still can tell you're good, even though I'm looking at you. Madeline's good. Jenna's good. All right. All right. Good. Now, Sandy, sorry. My teacher comes out.
All right, that's perfect. Okay, so listen, I just want to tease off of this before I turn it off over to Thomas, just to show you how this value can change. All right, he's going to give you some ideas of how that can occur. So we came up with 36 units, a value of 2.9. Let's say we increase those rents by $100 a unit. Okay, so we're going to use the same formula because we want to, well, we're not going to minus out the expenses. The expenses will stay the same. We just want to know if we raise the rents, what's it going to do to our valuation? So let's just do 100 times 36. That's an extra 3,600 a month times your 12. And then we'll do, so that's an extra $43,000 a year income. So if we do that times our 6, you added nearly $700,000 of value to that 2.9. by increasing the rents $100.
And you did that. So you took 36. How did you get that larger number?
Okay, so we just take the number that we're increasing, we're raising them $100, 100 times 36.
Yeah.
That's your monthly income times 12. And that's your additional income that you're bringing. And then you divide that by your cap rate. So that's
divide that by the cap rate. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we all know we can raise something $100, and that's where Thomas comes in the picture. When you're looking at these properties, how do you do that versus just, I mean, of course you can, a lot of times you can do that just by new ownership, new branding, new signage. But there's also other ways to do that as well. Any questions on how to come up with the value though, when you're looking at these properties?
Right. The math is pretty simple, guys. That's what I love about, I was good in math. Okay. English, terrible, but math, I was good at school because like, there's only one formula. It works it. Don't complicate it. Okay. $100 a month in rent is fine. But now you're going to be like, well, damn, how the hell do I get more money? Like, I got to make some more money on this. And this is where the guru, this is where the magician Thomas comes in, because he specializes in this. I mean, he was saying things to me the other day, and I was like, I didn't even think about that. Like, wow, that is great. You don't know what you don't know. How many have heard that? You don't know what you don't know. Okay, so Thomas, you got about 12 minutes to insight everybody on the magic power that you have.
Sweet.
What's
Well,
up, brother?
I appreciate everyone hopping on. For those that don't know me, my name is Thomas Lewis. I'm a commercial broker and investor out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I apologize if there's some noise in the background. They're doing some road work outside and hit a water line, so having to stay home and figure some things out with the construction crew. But wanted to hop into this and give a little intro as to how I got into real estate very quickly, in hopes that it can relate to most of you. I did not come from family of wealth by any means. I was in a military family growing up. And I definitely didn't have the connections into real estate. I got into real estate kind of by a fluke, to be honest. Got invited to a small investors group meeting. It was in person, much like this in terms of number wise, and got in touch with my mentor that way. He was also a young guy. And I gave my time in order to get his knowledge in return. So at that time, I was, married at 19. We had our first son at 20. And I dropped out of school to shadow this guy for 6 months, unpaid. So we were, making $50 last a week. So it was definitely tough, but I knew in return that I would get the knowledge that I would need to move forward and make real estate work for me. Really quick, piggybacking off of Sandy, in terms of evaluating a property as it sits, you hear terms like, hey, I'm a value add buyer, or I'm looking for value add properties. You need to look for properties that have the opportunity to go in with new management and new ownership and increase those rents to ultimately affect your bottom line, right? You're trying to bring more money into your pockets. We're in real estate to make money, provide for our families, but to also provide safe, good housing for our tenants. So there's two categories I like to look at. The first one is going to be a physical aspect of the property. So when you are driving around looking and doing this napkin math, you can start playing around with, hey, what would I do to this property physically to increase rents? If you can imagine yourself going to rent an apartment for you and your young family, and you see a property, let's say property A, and it has no landscaping and has potholes in the parking lots, and you can't see where the parking spaces are. And then you go look at property B, has beautiful landscaping, the parking lot's nice and been repaved, parking spaces you can visibly see. You're going to be more likely to pay more for property B, just off of appearance, right? So the physical side, there's a ton of things you can do. The first couple of things are interior and exterior renovations, right? So renovations can be knocking out walls or simple cosmetic flooring, paint, and new fixtures. You're trying to give the perceived value of the property. And two, you're trying to increase the value for yourself for later down the road if you're refining or if you're selling the property, right? So it's a twofold: increasing rents as well as making your property look the value that it needs to be. The second one is the operational side of the property. So you need to find a good property manager in whatever market you're in, and that is going to be that individual will be a hub to your wheel. They will have spokes going off to GCs. Anyone you really could utilize moving forward, they're going to be the hub for you into the property you're acquiring and the next one. They're also going to know exactly how you like to operate. So they're going to be like, hey, look, Sandy, I know Sandy is going to want to do X, Y, Z. So we're going to come up with a plan, present it to Sandy, and move forward. So it streamlines the process, having the operational side down as well. It's just as important as the physical side. With that, you might have a clubhouse or a space that you can put a leasing manager on site who all their focus is converting leads to living in tenants. You may have a property that utilities aren't metered separately. So you're getting billed for all the utilities. Well, there's RUBS that you can implement. RUBS is ration utility billing system. And there's great companies that you can utilize that actually handle all of that, billing included, for a couple bucks each unit. So those are the two big things I like to look at, the physical and the operational side. And you can get crazy with storage units in the basement. You can do, on the operational side, you can do move-in fees instead of security deposits. So security deposits kind of an uneasy feeling to a lot of tenants because they're wondering, hey, when the heck am I going to get my money back? If you do move-in fees, it's a non-refundable one-time fee. So you as the owner are going to retain that. So there's so many different ways that you can implement and really get creative on new properties and bring in the value. It turns into you become obsessed with the creativity side of it, and you can really start seeing your bottom line, your NOI increase in the right direction for you.
I love that, Thomas. Listen, I got to piggyback off of that because I think one of the things that I found, just putting numbers on the parking space that matches their unit and calling it preferred parking. I mean, that's a big deal. These little things when you're looking, any amenities that you can provide or to make things safe or easier, adding security cameras to the building. That's one of the first things that I do. When you can promote and do I do quarterly newsletters, what's going on in the community, any of their kids selling Girl Scout cookies. We do cookouts in the summer, things like that, where you're building a community. People will pay extra to live there.
Right.
Absolutely, all day long. So.
Yeah, the sense of community is a big one. There's so many different ways you can create that. And it definitely, it goes back to what I'm saying is it puts more money in your pocket, but in real estate, you'll see that if you give, it's going to come back around. So if you're just a decent human being and provide decent housing, it will come back tenfold.
Sandy, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I just would say, like Thomas pointed out, we all have mentors. And some of you know that I'm getting into the new construction, affordable housing, and doing multifamily there as well. And so I have a mentor on that side, and I still continue to pay for mentorship through Grant Cardone. My advice to all of you is you don't have to do this alone. Do it with partners, do it with people that can compress time. If you have questions, reach out to a group. If you're not involved in groups, get in groups. It is so important to have someone who's doing it bigger and better than you when you get on this journey. It's just gonna, like I said, compress time and get you there faster. And lastly, it only takes one deal to make you a millionaire. So when you're looking at that, that's why we don't play with 2 and 3 units. 12 units is your minimum that you're looking at, because you want to be able to cover your debt service. Your loan comes out of that NOI. Anything extra is cash flow. So those are my key takeaways that I just wanted to put out there.
No, I love it. Who's got a question for us? First of all, did you get something? Raise your hand if you got something today that you were able to take away from this. How many of you got value of something that you're literally able to take away? Okay. Now, who's got a question for us? Because we're all about making sure we answer questions that we have. Anybody have a question they specifically want to ask us? We got a couple minutes here. Did we do a really good job answering everything?
And I would say too, real quick, everybody, is everything is obtainable in real estate. If you're able to relate to my story, you just have to work hard. I know it's a little cliche when you ask someone for, what the secret sauce is and their success. It always comes down to hard work. So if you can figure out how you can outwork the person next to you, it just takes, like Sandy was saying, it takes one person or one call, one meeting as an opportunity. I mean, Sandy and I called Sandy through a cold call, just calling people to see if I could provide value to property owners in Charlotte. So opportunities and relationships are built by just being able to get out and shake hands and call people. So if you guys have any questions, want to reach out to me, feel free to do so. I'd be happy to help. I know mentorship is a big piece that people are searching for. So I'd be happy to help anyone that needs it.
Thomas, put your information in the chat for them so that
Sure.
way they can get something from it. Guys, you might be thinking, okay, now what? I got the napkin math. I got the how to put the, some of the upfit, some of the operational stuff, some of the physical stuff. And so the next segment comes in staging the LOI. And so what Sandy Thomas and I said was like, what can we do to bring everybody together to literally take property, take legit addresses? Ashley's going to be with us. Sandy's going to be with us, obviously. Thomas. We got a couple other people that are going to be. Simon's going to be with us. We have several other people, and we are going to have if you look at the event, where did I put where did it go? I moved it up here. The www.igniteyourwealthtoday.com. We gathered attorneys. We gathered lenders who can literally give you money that day to go through your process. Thomas is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Sandy is going to be there. We are going to help you with your LOI. We are physically going to be going through it. It's going to be it's an all day thing. It's going to be from 10 to 4. Okay. It's $1,200 for you to be there all day. But we said, you know what? For you guys today, because you took time away, we're going to do it today for $600. It is literally everything that you want. Because I said, I'm a very tactical person. Like, I want to instantaneously pour value. For those that know me, know how I am. It's like, how can they do it right now? How can they instantaneously grow and make this happen? And let's get all the players together. So that entire day from 10 to 4, you'll have different speakers. You'll have different people coming in there. We have a lunch provided for you. We have breakfast for you. So that way you don't have to worry about it. Okay. And we'll even do a little happy hour after. So we could toast to the deals that you got, but you're going to learn about your ROI. You could possibly even get a deal that day. We will put in an LOI to submit. Sandy will like check it off, be like, I would do that. Let's run with it. We have sponsors, the sponsorship. We have coaching platforms. We basically are putting it all in one day for $600 that you guys get today. If you sign up today, is in that link. You can go sign up today. After that, it is going to go to that $1,200 just because we have covering costs. And we got to pay for these speakers to come out here and do that. But you guys have taken time today to be able to be here. So it is in that link. Thomas is getting some engagement already on the chat. Okay. And take a look at it, guys. How many of you say that you got something today? How many of you feel you'd be interested in coming April 25th with us for the day? How many are thinking about April 25th? They're thinking about not too sure. Not too sure. Don't let money get in the way. If money didn't matter, would you go? Yeah, maybe I start to think about it. Okay. Money is the biggest fear that puts people in their way of their dreams. I didn't make that up. John Maxwell did, and I'm coached by him. And he tells me that that's the biggest fear people have. Besides public speaking, money gets in the way of people's dreams. Okay. So, Sandy, anything you want to conclude with? It is 11:30. Boom, right there on the spot. We said 30 minutes.
I love that. And I'm such a stickler on time. So yeah, everybody, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. As you're out doing carpool, start thinking napkin math in your head and just start thinking how raising the rent's just $20-$30. How many units? How much value are you adding? Because that's your spread. That's your profit. Those are the numbers people want to see when they want to sponsor your deal. And if those numbers are good, there's money out there. So you acquiring the deal is where it all starts.
Thomas, anything you want to end with?
Yeah, I mean, really start practicing with what we've been able to give you today. I hope that you're able to take away a couple things and add it. So yeah, I mean, drive around, look at some properties, start practicing, and man, we'll be excited to help you guys along.
Bring it to us on the 25th, guys. We'll literally take your properties that you have on Zillow, MLS, whatever you find, bring it to us, and we will make it happen that day. I promise you, because these people want to do it. That's what it's all about. Guys, I appreciate you. We'll be, thank you so much. The links are in there. Hope to see you guys on the 25th. Sign up today. Ashley, looking forward to seeing you. You'll be with us. And Pat, I'm glad you're feeling better. Sandy, Thomas, thank you so much. James, Melissa, Matthew, Jenna, Lynn, Chris, Madeline, appreciate you all. Thanks for being here, guys. See ya.
Yeah.